Enjoy this great game.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Humm Baby Baseball channel, and today we are going to predict free agents for the 2021 season, where they're going to sign, where these guys going to sign for 2021. We're going to talk about 25 of the biggest free agents going into the offseason, and I'll give my prediction. These predictions are going to be outside the box. They're going to be crazy, so just calm down. We'll see how it goes, and you guys put your thoughts down in the comment section below. Again, free agency never goes like we expect, but I'm only going to give my best guesses as to where these guys might actually sign. So let's just get right into it. Let's start out with Yasiel Puig. He didn't even play in 2020. We thought he was going to play. We were sure he was going to play, and he just never ended up signing anywhere until finally he signed with Atlanta, but then he had COVID. After that, he completely disappeared off the radar, and we don't know what the heck is going on, but I'm assuming he is coming back. And since the Atlanta Braves already showed interest, I think they're going to show interest again, especially if they lose some of their free agent outfielders, one of which I'll be talking about later in this video. But I'm going to say that the Atlanta Braves indeed sign Puig. This time it becomes official, and he goes to lick bats in Atlanta. Number 24, I'm going to put him on the list because he played for my team, the San Francisco Giants.
It's Kevin Gausman.
And he had a fantastic 2020. He struck out 79 batters in 59 innings. He had a FIP of 3.09. He's only 29. He's going to get some nice offers, but I think that he's going to reward the Giants for giving him that opportunity. I think he's going to re-sign, and he's going to come back to San Francisco and pitch in 2021 for the Giants. Number 23 is going to be Jose Quintana. I got this guy on the list because he's great with durability, and the guy is going to go out there and pitch 32 games pretty much every year. In fact, from 2013 to 2019, 7 straight years, he pitched exactly 32 games every year, with one exception in which he pitched 33. But then in 2020, he hurts himself washing dishes. Makes perfect sense. 2020, that's just perfect. But still, the guy's got great career stats. 3.73 ERA, 83 and 77 career record, strikes out about 8 per 9, and I think some team will give him a shot. The Cubs probably won't re-sign him because he didn't really work out well with them. The fans aren't too high on him, but I think he will go over to a team that's desperate for some help in their rotation. They need help, and it will be the Los Angeles Angels. I got Quintana going to the Angels. Next up, we're going to talk about Tommy La Stella. Transformed himself into pretty much a star player with the Angels. He's very versatile. He's got some pop, and I think he is going to sign just before the season starts. I think he's going to be looking for offers, but I don't think he's going to do anything that great, and he's going to end up re-signing and staying right there in Oakland. I think that Tommy La Stella will stay with the Oakland A's. Number 21 is going to be Michael Brantley of the Houston Astros. Fantastic hitter, gets on base. He's had some injury issues this year, and he's getting a little older, but I'm going to say a team that loves to sign valuable, talented veterans, a team that just loves getting these guys who have proven worthy in the past, who can still do something, and they have the money to sign them. It's going to be the Bronx Bombers themselves. I'm saying that Michael Brantley is going to sign with the New York Yankees. Next up, number 20, Mr. Pine Tar himself, Justin Turner. And I know you guys have noticed the pine tar stain on the back. Like, at first you see it, you're like, oh, it got his back a little dirty. Happens all the time. Next game, same stain. They don't wash the uniform? Third day, same stain. Different jersey. They're on the road jersey now. Same stain. Same stain. This guy is getting a little bit older, not as good defensively as he used to be, but still solid. From what I'm hearing, the DH is not going to be in the National League in 21. I hope it's not, but I haven't heard officially yet, but it sounds like it's not. So I'm thinking he might go to the American League where he can DH and play the field as well. I mean, he can do both, and I'm just saying he might be a little more versatile, be able to get that bat in that lineup almost every day in the American League. But either way, I'm going to go ahead and say that he continues to play at Globe Life Field, where he has found his comfort zone. He stays at that field in 21, and he is going to play for the Texas Rangers. So I got him going to Arlington to play for the Rangers. Next up, we have 40-year-old Nelson Cruz, who continues to be an absolute beast. Year after year, this dude is legit. He's going to play in 21, and I can't see him leaving Minnesota. I'm going to be honest. I think they're going to pay him what they have to keep him there in Minnesota and finally try to actually win a freaking playoff game. The Minnesota Twins will keep Nelson Cruz, and he re-signs with the Twins. Next up, we have Jock Peterson. I believe he will move on, mainly because they already tried to trade his ass to the Angels, and that move didn't go through, but you better believe he remembers that, and he also didn't play. He was like a platoon guy. He is going to be gone. Remember, he's only 28 years old. This guy hit 36 bombs in 2019. Still very, very valuable. He's from the Bay Area, and I've been asked, will he come to the Giants? I'd love to have him, but when you got Yaz out there, a lefty, you got Dickerson out there, a lefty, we got some depth in the outfield. I mean, I would love to have him, don't get me wrong. I just don't think the Giants are going to pull the trigger on Jock Peterson. And even if they try to pull the trigger, I don't think Jock signs with the Giants because, as I'll talk about later, free agents don't sign with the Giants. Instead, I'll say that Jock heads over to the American League, plays for a team desperate for better hitters in that outfield after Josh Naylor, Tyler Nacken, and Delino DeShields Jr. combined for 5 home runs. And Naylor had 1 of them. And DeShields had none of them. I got Jock Peterson signing with the Cleveland Indians. Number 17 is going to be Robbie Ray. His problem is he's 29 and filthy, but he pitches like he's 19 and filthy with no idea where the ball is going. At 29, you should have an idea where the ball is going by that point. He was terrible with the D-backs. He walked everybody. He went to the Blue Jays. He was a little bit better. I don't think any team is going to go really big on this guy, but he's going to sign somewhere with a team that has a lot of money, that wouldn't mind having that depth in the rotation, having a guy who could be nasty when he's not walking everyone. They're going to have Matt Blake, the pitching coach, work with this guy in New York. I got Robbie Ray signing with the New York Yankees. Mike Minor is a guy who had a fantastic 2019. Not such a great 2020, although some of his advanced stats say that it wasn't actually that bad. Started out with Texas, finished up with Oakland. Next year, he's on the move. He's going to sign with a team that loves pitchers that have elite spin rates. They already have a few, like Lance McCullers Jr. and Brad Peacock. Like I said, a lot of surprises on this list. People are going to be angry and cuss me out. That's fine. But I do have Mike Minor signing with the Houston Astros. Next up is going to be Andrelton Simmons entering free agency for the first time in his career. Simmons coming off a season where he hit .297 with a .346 on base, but 0 home runs. He does have a little pop from the past, but he didn't show it in 2020. He's got elite defense, however, 4 gold gloves. He's definitely going to be sought after by several teams. And I got the Phillies being one of them, with Didi possibly leaving in free agency. I got them saving a little money, signing this guy to play shortstop in Philadelphia. I got Andrelton Simmons going to the Philadelphia Phillies. Next up at 14 is a guy I never thought would be on this list going into 2021, but Trevor Rosenthal pitched himself into a big league contract for 21 by striking out 38 in 23 innings with a 1.9 earned run average in 2020, 11 saves with the Royals and Padres. He has become an elite relief pitcher again, and he's not old. He's only 30. Feels like he's older, but he's really not. He's only 30 years old. So I think he signs a nice contract, maybe a multi-year deal with a team whose bullpen needs help. The Nationals could be a possibility, but I'm going to say the Philadelphia Phillies outbid them. They are desperate. The Philadelphia Phillies sign Trevor Rosenthal, and he becomes a Philly. Masahiro Tanaka comes next, and I got a hard time picturing him in a jersey that's not a Yankees jersey, so I'm not going to picture it. I think that he stays in New York. I'll just say it. I think the Yankees are going to bring him back, maybe on a 1-year deal. Not sure about that, but after a decent 2020, 3.56 earned run average in 10 starts, 3-3 record, he wants to stay in pinstripes, I'm sure, and the Yankees want him to as well. They're going to do just enough to keep him there. I got Tanaka staying put in New York as a New York Yankee. Next up is going to be Shane Green. He's been legit for the Atlanta Braves, pitched in nearly half of their games, 2.6 earned run average, solid reliever, and pretty much every team would love to have this guy. So this is not easy. It's tough for these relievers who are not, super elite, but they're really, really good, and they're going to be out there and available. Like I said, the Nationals are a team that needs bullpen help. Since I had Trevor Rosenthal going to the Phillies, I'm going to say that the Washington Nationals are able to land Shane Green, and he goes to pitch in the bullpen at the nation's capital. And Shane Green is going to the Washington Nationals. Next up, we got Taijuan Walker. This guy had a big bounce back year with the Mariners and Blue Jays in 2020. 11 starts and a 2.7 earned run average in 53 innings. Gave up just 43 hits, struck out 50, 8.4 per 9, which is right in line with his career numbers. And I see a lot of teams requesting his services. But with the possible loss of Jake Odorizzo and Rich Hill, the Minnesota Twins, who are still trying to win a playoff game, like I said earlier, they were able to make the playoffs. They won 100 games a couple years ago. They are really, really good. Every time I predict them not to be that good, everyone cusses me out. So obviously, they're really good. But why can't they win in the playoffs? So they need somebody to help them do that. They are going to sign Taijuan Walker to bolster that rotation. He's signing with the Minnesota Twins. Now we enter into the top 10. I got Alex Colomé. He was fantastic for the Chicago White Sox with a .81 earned run average in just 22 innings. It's a small sample. He is likely not going to have an ERA under 1 in a 162-game season. Let's be real. But he gets outs. He was elite with the Rays back in 2017. He had 47 saves, leading the league. Teams like the Phillies, Nationals, Astros, White Sox themselves are going to be very interested in getting this guy. But there's one team that he's played with before that people forget about, and they actually had a decent year. They ended up in third place. They're looking good. Their young prospects are coming up, and the Seattle Mariners and Jerry DiPoto, they're going to pony up some cash for somebody this offseason. I don't know who it's going to be, but I'm going to say, since Alex Colomé has connections to Seattle, I'm going to say that they sign him to return as one of their big bullpen pieces in Seattle, where he pitched in 2018. And Alex Colomé is going to be a Seattle Mariner once again. Number 9, we got Blake Treinen. He had a solid year for the Dodgers, helping them finally win a World Series ring, but he's a free agent now, looking to cash in. And one team that's going to be looking for some bullpen help, in addition to the many I've mentioned, is the Boston Red Sox. I see them targeting all the big free agent relievers, but I'll say they eventually sign Blake Treinen. I think he's going to go to Boston and become a member of the Boston Red Sox. Number 8, we got Didi Gregorius. Played in all 60 games for the Phillies, hit .284 with 10 home runs. Now, earlier in the video, I mentioned Andrelton Simmons would be signing with the Philadelphia Phillies. That's going to happen later in the offseason, because earlier in the offseason, it is the Los Angeles Angels. They are going to grab the more valuable, possibly, Didi Gregorius, and he is going to become a Los Angeles Angel. Next up, we got Liam Hendriks. This dude is filthy. This dude is disgusting. This dude is awesome. This dude is legit. Struck out 37 guys in 25 innings with a 1.78 ERA for the Oakland A's. And I think he gets paid big for his services in 2021 and moving forward. And one team that had a terrible 2020 but really tried to improve last offseason, and they're going to try again, and they're going to really try to improve their bullpen. And it's a team that, again, could sign any of these relievers. I'm just kind of trying to picture it and seeing, what connections there are when I make these predictions, but it's really tough. But I'm going to say that the Arizona Diamondbacks make a huge bid and get lucky and come out and sign this guy, Liam Hendriks, to pitch in Arizona for the Diamondbacks in 2021. We're getting to the best of the best here. Number 6, DJ LeMahieu. Anyone who said DJ LeMahieu was only so good because he was hitting at Coors Field, they can go hide in a corner somewhere, because obviously that's not the case. He just hit .364 for the Yankees in 2020. This dude is legit. He is a superstar. His OPS was over 1,000. He is a 3-time Gold Glover. He's going to get paid very handsomely in 2021. Teams that will show interest include the Red Sox, the Twins, the Rockies, of course, and, of course, the Yankees. And I think the Yankees are going to pay whatever they have to keep him. And I think DJ LeMahieu will re-sign with the Bronx Bombers and stay in New York. He's going to be a New York Yankee again. Number 5, this is a super interesting one. Marcus Semien. He was 3rd in the MVP voting in 2019 with 33 home runs and a .369 on base. But in 2020, he slipped a little. His average was just .223 with a .305 on base, 7 home runs and 211 at-bats. Nevertheless, he's relatively young, just turned 30. I'd love to have him on the Giants, and I know people are asking me, Marcus Semien, Giants. It could happen. It could happen. They can move guys around. They can figure it out. But right now with Crawford, Solano, Longoria, Flores, Dubon, Marco Luciano on the way, I don't think it's going to happen. They're just very crowded right now. I think the A's are going to try their best to keep him and succeed. I think he is going to re-sign with the Oakland A's. Coming up at number 4, George Springer. In 2020, Springer hit 14 bombs. Remember, it was a 60-game year, so 14 is pretty good. .359 on base, .540 slugging, and now the Giants would have room for Springer, and it would be freaking amazing. But the Astros are going to, or already have by the time this video is up, they're going to offer him a qualifying offer. That means that whoever signs him gives up draft picks. Giants are not interested in giving up draft picks right now. Also, Farhan Zaidi is not going to outbid a bunch of other teams if they go really big, which they will. Also, free agents never sign in San Francisco. I mentioned it earlier. Let me get more into depth on that. Think about it. Except for Barry Bonds. What big free agents have signed with the San Francisco Giants? You start thinking about all the big names on the Giants. The Bumgarners, the Posies, the Crawfords, the Belts. We can go back further. Kevin Mitchells, the Will Clarks. They were either drafted by the Giants or they came here via trade, like Longoria, even Andrew McCutchen, who was here. That wasn't a free agent signing. That was a trade. Free agents don't sign here. I don't know why they don't sign here. I'm trying to think. The biggest name I could think of besides Barry Bonds was Brett Butler and Ray Durham. Nice players. But come on. Now that trend is going to break at some point. At some point, a big free agent name is going to sign with the Giants, but I'm not going to predict it to happen until I see it happen. These guys just don't sign with San Francisco. So, no, I don't think George Springer is coming to the Giants, if I'm quite honest. I definitely would be for it. I would like to have him, but I don't think he's coming to the Giants. Now, the Red Sox are going to show interest, but they also don't want to lose any draft picks. White Sox would be very interesting and very possible. That would be sick. Astros, of course, are going to try their best to re-sign him. But I don't know. I think he might want to distance himself from the Astros. I think he's been getting a lot of heat. He's been hearing a lot of noise, a lot of insults, right or wrong. I'm not here to get in a dispute on that. I'm just saying he's been dealing with a lot, and I think that he might be just ready to move on from all that and just go somewhere else and clear his head and maybe not have to hear as much of that next year. He's still going to hear some regardless of where he goes, but I just have a feeling he might want to be out of there. Sorry if you're an Astros fan. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he re-signs with the Astros. But I think he's going to go somewhere else. And I started just thinking of all the teams that are going to pursue him. Where could he end up? And I'm going to go with a crazy pick. I'm going to say that he signs with this team that's trying to make the playoffs and does make the playoffs almost every year. But they haven't won a World Series for a while. It's been since 2011. So now you know who I'm talking about, right? If you know your baseball history, you know I got George Springer signing with the St. Louis Cardinals as a surprise signing. A team that does have a spot somewhere in the outfield for him and is constantly trying to improve. I see the Cardinals making a big move this offseason, and they're going to sign George Springer. Next up, Marcell Ozuna had a monster year for the Braves, and he's not coming cheap in 21. He's going to be looking to cash in. Cha-ching! And like I said earlier, I think the Braves are going to sign another outfielder, maybe Puig, maybe someone else. But anyway, I don't think they're going to be able to re-sign Ozuna. Sorry, Braves fans, maybe I'm wrong, but I got him going elsewhere to a team that I was high on in 2020, but they just didn't have the offensive ability to make a deep playoff push, and they're going to try again. This is a team that tries every year. Every year they sign. They signed Puig a couple years back. You know who I'm talking about now. I got Ozuna signing with the Cincinnati Reds. They got extra money. I got Bauer coming off the books, and with the realization that they still got good pitching even without Bauer, they just need more power. Not just more power. They need someone who can get on base. They need the batting average. They need someone who can drive in runs consistently. The Cincinnati Reds need this guy, and I got Ozuna going to Cincinnati.
We're on to Cincinnati.
Coach, last week, the protection of the offensive line seemed to be pretty...
Okay, it's time for the top two, and this guy's going to be number one on most lists, but I'm going to say JT REALMUTO is next because the number one guy is a guy I'm getting so many questions about and hearing a lot of hype about, so I'll save him for last. But JT REALMUTO, legit free agent right here. This is going to be one of the main priorities for the Phillies is to re-sign JT REALMUTO, but he's going to be asking a lot. Remember, Yasmani Grandal signed with the White Sox 4 years, $73 million. He's going to want to be somewhere in that ballpark, if not more. And I think another team is going to make a splash, not the Giants. We got like 3-4 catchers already, in the system or on the team. We've heard the rumors of the Mets. The Mets are going to make a big push to get this guy, but reports are saying he's not keen on New York. So I think it's going to be a surprise team. I think it's going to be a team that's desperate to make it to the World Series, a team that was really good in 2020, surprised everyone, one of the better teams in all of baseball, but their catcher was last in the lineup their last game, and it was a guy named Jason Castro. The Padres want a legit catcher, and they're going to pay up to get JT REALMUTO to move to the West Coast. I got the Padres signing JT REALMUTO. He is going to play for the Friars in 2021. But my number one, you already know, Trevor Bauer. And I got Trevor Bauer retiring and committing full time to his Twitter career. For real, though, I was actually going to predict that he signs with the Dodgers if the Dodgers lost the World Series, because I thought that if the Dodgers didn't win it, they were going to go insane, absolutely nuts, and sign anybody and everybody to whatever dollar amount they wanted. And since they won the World Series, I don't think they're going to be quite that desperate, but they still might sign him. They're still going to be trying to sign him, but I'm going to say he's going to sign somewhere else. The Red Sox are going to be in the mix. The White Sox are going to be in the mix. The Angels are going to be in the mix, and those are two teams that have terrible pitching but really good offense. I don't know if the White Sox have terrible pitching. I take that back, but they need to improve their pitching. And the Angels kind of do have terrible pitching. So these are teams that need to improve their pitching. They have good offense. They have a really good offense. So I think those are the two teams. And with Bauer, you really don't know what he's thinking. He could sign anywhere. He's no guarantee to sign with New York or LA. He could sign anywhere. So I'm going to go ahead and say he signs with the White Sox. I'm going to say that Bauer signs with the Chicago White Sox, and the White Sox are going to make another playoff push in 2021, and they're going to try to win a World Series, and they're going to sign the best available pitcher out there. And my number one guy, I think Trevor Bauer signs with the Chicago White Sox. So there you have it, 25 big names right there. And if you're a Giants fan, you're like, dude, who are we getting? Who are we getting? Guys, I really don't know. I don't think any of these 25 guys are going to sign with the Giants except for Kevin Gausman. I think we're going to re-sign Gausman. We may be able to re-sign a couple other guys, and we are going to continue to build the system and continue to draft well. We may sign some. We're going to sign some decent free agents, not top 25 guys, though. So unfortunately, that's just how I really feel about it. I hope they prove me wrong. I would love for the Giants to sign any of these guys, honestly. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, it's going to be a crazy offseason. No telling. If I just get 2 or 3 of these right, I will call it a win. We'll see what happens, guys. Let me know your thoughts down below in that comment section. I want to know what you guys think. Try to take it easy on me. A lot of these are outside the box. I know that. I like picking outside the box. I don't like just picking the obvious. It's just how I do my predictions, because usually that's how it turns out. The obvious is usually not correct. So I like to go crazy with my predictions. So guys, have a fantastic day. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that thumbs up button. Check out my Patreon page. Check out the links in the description. Follow me on Twitter, HummBabyBB. We're going to talk to you guys later. See ya!
When the Giants come to town, it's 5